Hello folks, this is Scott with This Traveling. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to show a couple of knots, or actually a few. I was going to start with a couple, but we're going to show a few because it all ties the same way. First one's a hitch, the Marlin Spike hitch, the Bowden, the arbor knot, and the slip knot. And I'll probably do the slip knot for the arbor knot. But it's all done almost the same way. But first let's talk rope terminology here. This, when you do this, is considered a bite. Now, you've got your working end and you've got your standing end. I've heard people also call it short end or this the long end. I usually call this the working and the standing. So the first one is going to be the Marlin Spike hitch. Just like this. Make that loop. And I'm going to show you, because you cross it over. I'm going to have to turn you around because I got to see me on this phone to see what I'm doing. That's what it's going to look like when it's facing you. There we go. And there we go. You got that loop. You got your working end still, and you still got your standing end. You flip it. Now the Marlin Spike hitch, I wish I had something to work with here, and I don't. Just like that. You're going to stick a toggle through or a stick you find around here in the woods, depending on what you're doing. And this is actually one of my favorite things to do, because I can stick a tent stake like that, I can make a ladder like that, do whatever. Hang a backpack when you get that toggle, and you hang your backpack on it if you got this with a tree. Usually I use a Bowden and then put it through the Bowden itself, making that running Bowden. Alright, now we've shown that. In fact, I'm going to do it twice. I'm going to do each one twice, that way we can learn this. But all you got to do, and you can pick any, it don't have to be such a big, it depends on what you're doing with the Marlin Spike hitch, but I'm going to go ahead and do it like this. Once again, take that bite, working in, standing in. Take that bite, make that loop. And once again, facing me when I do this, I'm going to turn you around. That way you guys can see. As I'm basically just crossing it over. That's all I'm doing. Just like that. That's what it's always going to look like when it's facing you when you do it like this. There we go. Here we go. Lay it down. Like that. Push it back through. There we go. You can pull it the rest of the way. Get it through. In fact, you don't have to really go too high when you're doing the Marlin Spike hitch, depending on what you're doing. Use my finger here for the toggle. And there we go. Like I said, I've hung backpacks like that. And as you can see, it does pretty good. And it will slide a little. So as you're working your backpack, you're going to have to put it up there. I've had that one happen. If you want your backpack up a little higher, you might have to do the Marlin Spike hitch a little bit higher. If you want at a certain level. Alright, here we go. Now we're going to do the Bowden. Start off the same way. The knots I show you, they're going to start off the same way. Remember, working, standing. My bite, then my loop. Lay it over. The start of Marlin Spike hitch. But we're going to go ahead and just pull that bite through. Just like that. From my chest, or from your chest, stick it through there. Just like that. Take it. Got it through there? See that? I'm going to take it, and I'm taking it to the top. I'm going to take a little bit more. And I'm going to get my fingers out of the way out. And we're going to pinch it together. Just like that. And then I'm going to tug. I'm going to do it fast, I'm going to do it hard. There we go. That, my tail's a little bit long, but still, the Bowden. This is what it looks like. That knot right there. Almost a teardrop shape there. Along with that coming right there. This is what it looks like from here. As long as you see that, that's the bowline. It don't matter if that's too long. It don't matter if it's to the side. It don't matter if that's through the middle. That's still the bowline. We'll do it twice. In fact, I have, and it don't have to be such a big loop. This one got kind of tight. I'll show you a bigger loop the second time around. But with the trucker's hitch, and after I undo everything, if I'm doing a ridge line, this is how I tie my ridge lines too. Just like that, came undone just like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take more of a working in there. So I got my working in, my bite, my standing in. Make that bite. There you go for your loop. Lay it down. While you're laying it down, you can push that bite through. There we go. Now, once again, it's from my chest, which would be from your chest. Over this like that. There we go. Kind of got lost there. There we go. And we're going to take that. Just like that. And fast and hard with the standing in. And this time I did make a bigger loop. And there we go. And this time it's a little bit closer to the middle. But as you can see, I still got that teardrop along with this right here. That's what it looks like from there. Alright. Now, let's undo this. The slip knot. Again, working, standing in. Take that bite. Make that loop. Lay it down. So for this case, what we're going to do after we take that, just like that. That is your slip knot. Maybe. I did something wrong. Hold on a minute. It happens when you're making a video. Something going wrong here. I'll get back to you guys. Got a mess now. Alright, sometimes when you're making videos, this stuff happens. But once again, it's like this. Got that bite. Make yourself a loop. Probably don't need that much tail. There we go. Or actually, I will. There we go. Just like that. Like that. Make that. Like that. Like that. Instead of me going so fast, let's do it slowly. Me not going like that, like that. There we go. Got that bite. Working in, standing in. Make that loop. Lay it down. There we go. And all you do is just this. Holding on to both ends here. There we go. Now, you pull. Alright, that's better. And there we go. To undo it, just like that. I'll show it to you again. There we go. Now when you're doing the slip knot, that knot might be a little bit tighter than I just did it. So again, working in, standing in, got the bite, just like that. Lay it down. And I take both ends. There we go. And just like that. Made that knot a little bit tighter, so I can show you this is a little bit more difficult to undo. And then again, you just, and that's your slip knot. Undo it, just like that. Now you're not going to be doing what you're doing. That knot, it's good. This is paracord, so it's a little bit more slick. Using bang line is going to be tough to undo. Like I will use number 36 bang line. Alright, that's the slip knot. Now the arbor knot. Just like this, and I'm using paracord. If you're doing arbor knots, I recommend bang line. Just like this, I'm going to actually make my toes a little bit shorter. But you'll get, so again, we got the working and we got the long end. I mean the standing end. working in, standing in. Like I said, some people do call this short end, this is long end. Make that loop. We'll lay it down like that. Now, once again, taking this, and that there is considered a slip knot. That is dead. But here's the deal. If you're tightening around something, like that. Now what we want to do is do an overhand knot. So I'm going to get my thumb out because I use both hands. Yeah, gotta think about my knot here. In this case, I guess I am using. I don't think the knot for this part really matters. We're just going to do a knot, and we're going to try to get as close to this knot. This works better if you do. But I'll show you because that knot's going to go up against that knot anyways. That good and tight. Now, watch that knot. It's going to go right up against that knot. Now, I'm not doing this up against my thumb, so. There we go. That's the arbor knot. Or the Canadian jam knot, depending on who you are. Or a jam knot. To be quite honest with you, and I've heard it said by Sean Kelly Corpus Christi, you cut this off. And you put your knots in so nothing goes anywhere. So that's the arbor knot. Because if I tie a knot here, then I won't be able to do this. That's how you undo it. And when it's cut, and you got your knots all together, that's considered an arbor knot. So actually I got a jam knot. And I'm not going to say Canadian because I'm not in Canada. So it's a jam knot. I've also heard it called the bushcraft zip tie. Now getting it undone can be a pain in the butt. There we go. In fact, I'm going to do this off. Otherwise, we're going to sit here and fiddle with it. Alright, got everything untied. Once again, you're working and you're standing again. Now, when you're doing these knots, like the bowline knot, or even a slip knot or an arbor knot, tying it around something is a little bit different. And I'll show you guys that eventually. Right now, we're sitting inside and I ain't got nothing to tie to. So once again, you're working and you're standing in. That's considered a bite right there. You take this loop. Just like that. There we go. Lay it down. And you push this through just like that. Should look like that. And this time you take this just like that. Now, I have a slip knot there. But what I'll do is I'll place me a knot as close as I can to this knot. Let's get a knot in there. There we go. Let's kind of mess up a long tail here. There we go. And try to get that as close as I can to that knot. There we go. And once again, that knot will touch that knot as you start to ratchet it. And there we go. And it gets tighter and tighter and tighter bottom around my thumb. Now there we go, back to where it's filled. So now if you want to keep it like that jam knot, you would just tie this off. And for an arbor knot, you just cut the rest of it off and you got yourself an arbor knot. Or I've heard this from Blackie Thomas. He calls it sometimes a bushcraft zip tie. But to get it off there, you just like that. And that's how you do it. Well, folks, that's my knots I'm going to show you for now. Along with the hitch, I'll show you trucker's hitch as we get near more stuff where I tie trucker's hitch. And I'll show you how to do a ridge line too while I'm at it. I will see you guys on the next one. This is Scott with This Traveling. Do appreciate y'all watching. Do not forget to hit the thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe to me. For those that are, I do appreciate it. Hit the notification bell when you stay notified. And go ahead and drop me a comment. I do appreciate the comments. We'll learn off each other. And once again, welcome to the channel, This Traveling. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it, folks.